Hello friends, welcome to another video of NS Pharma. Today we are going to see multiple choice questions from General Pharmacology section. This video will be very helpful for a pharmacist who is preparing for GPAT or other government pharmacist exams, drug inspector and prometric exams. Okay, so we will start this pharmacology section now. The first question, example for drug that inhibit metabolizing enzymes. Example for drug that inhibit metabolizing enzymes. Option A, griseofulvin. Option B, phenobarbital. Option C, erythromycin. And option D, rifampicin. Which medicine inhibit metabolizing enzymes? The correct answer is erythromycin. This one we are studying in General Pharmacology section. In this we studied enzyme inducing agents and also enzyme inhibiting agents. The first one, enzyme inhibition. Some drugs are there, they will inhibit the microsomal enzymes, so the metabolism will not take place, so the duration of action of that drug will be more compared to others. Vitamin K can cause enzyme inhibition. This is the trick, you can use it for studying this drug. Vitamin K can cause enzyme inhibition. We are studying enzyme inhibition. The first drug is V, vitamin K, V for valproate. Next one K for, sorry it's not written here, it's a ketoconazole, please. K for ketoconazole. The first one valproate, the second one K is for ketoconazole. Next one C is for cimetidine, again C, ciprofloxacin. Then E, that is erythromycin. In this question that was the option, erythromycin. Then last I, that's INH, isoniazid. Vitamin K can cause enzyme inhibition. These are drugs which inhibit the microsomal enzyme, so it will reduce the metabolism of the drug, so the duration of action will be high. Valproate, ketoconazole, please note down, it's K, it's not here in this slide. K for ketoconazole, valproate, ketoconazole, cimetidine, ciprofloxacin. E for erythromycin, then I for INH or isoniazid. We are moving to enzyme inducers. So when you are giving this medicine with along other medicine, this medicine will induce the enzyme metabolism, so the total duration of action will be very less compared to normally when you are giving alone. So for studying this one, you can use this trick, GPRS cell phone. G for griseofulvin, P for phenytoin, R for rifampicin, S for smoking. So smoking also induce enzyme. They induce microsomal enzyme production and the metabolism will be rapid, thereby the duration of action will become less. G for griseofulvin, P for phenytoin, R for rifampicin, S for smoking, C for carbamazepine, the last one P for phenobarbital. Griseofulvin, phenytoin, rifampicin, smoking, carbamazepine, phenobarbital. We are moving to next question. The second question, drug acts by inhibiting an enzyme in the body. Select the drug which acts by inhibiting an enzyme in the body. The mechanism of action of that drug is enzyme inhibition. The first one atropine, the second one allopurinol, the third one levodopa, and the fourth one metoclopramide. Atropine, allopurinol, levodopa, metoclopramide. For getting the answer of this question, we should know the mechanism of action of this drug. First we will see the answer. It's allopurinol. Allopurinol, that's anti-gout drug, that is acts by inhibiting an enzyme in the body. We will go for the mechanism of action of allopurinol. Allopurinol inhibits the enzyme which is known as xanthine oxidase. Xanthine oxidase. Allopurinol is a xanthine oxidase inhibitor. Allopurinol is an anti-gout drug. This xanthine oxidase is responsible for uric acid synthesis. So whenever xanthine oxidase responsible for uric acid synthesis. So whenever this allopurinol inhibit the xanthine oxidase, the uric acid synthesis will be less. That's why the allopurinol is using as an anti-gout drug. The third question, which of the following cytochrome P450 isoenzymes is involved in the metabolism of largest number of drugs in human beings? Which cytochrome P450 isoenzyme is involved in the metabolism of largest number of drugs in human being? Option 1, option A, cytochrome P 3A4, B, cytochrome P 2C9, third option, cytochrome P 2E1, the last one, cytochrome P 1A2. So which is the cytochrome P450 isoenzyme which is involved in the metabolism of most of the drug? The option are 3A4, 2C9, 2E1, 1I2. Correct answer is option A, cytochrome P3A4, which is the isoenzyme of cytochrome P450, which is involved in the most of the drug metabolism. The next question, if you have any doubt regarding these questions, or if you have a doubt about the answer, just give comments on the below section. Just write down comments which question you have doubt, the question number or whatever you can make a doubt. I will try to answer this question. So we are moving to next question, number 4. Question number 4. Monitoring plasma drug concentration is needed while using which drug? So when you are taking any drug, you have to monitor the plasma drug concentration. Which is that drug? Too many drugs are there for the monitoring. Plasma monitoring is needed. Here we are in the option, there are total 4 drugs. Out of this, which one we have to monitor plasma drug concentration? The option A, antihypertensive drugs, that's BP drugs for the BP, then levodopa, then lithium carbonate, then MAO inhibitors. Antihypertensive drugs, levodopa, lithium carbonate, and MAO inhibitors. Out of this, which one we have to monitor the plasma drug concentration when we are using? The correct answer is option C, lithium carbonate. When we are using lithium carbonate, this is using for the bipolar disorder. When we are using lithium carbonate, we should monitor the plasma drug concentration. The next question, number 5. Which of the following statement is always true? Which of the following statement is always true? Option A, more potent drug is more efficacious. Option B, a more potent drug is safer. Option C, a more potent drug is clinically superior. And the last option, a more potent drug can produce the same response at lower doses. So for getting this answer, we should know what is the difference between potency and efficacy. The first option, a more potent drug is more efficacious. That is not the correct answer. That is not always the correct, because efficacy and potency is totally different. Efficacy is the maximum response of a drug, but the potency is the concentration at which the drug can achieve a given response. When we are drawing a graph dose response curve, in that the potency will be high for the drug which is in the left region, that's near to y axis. Which drug is there near y axis, that will be more potent, but the efficacy is the topmost one. That may be potent, more potent, that may not be more potent, that may not be potent. So the option A is not correct, and potency don't have any connection with the safety of the drug. There is no superiority for the potent drug, and the last option will be the correct answer. Is a more potent drug can produce the same response at lower doses. That means at lower dose also the more potent drug can produce same response. Here is the graph. This is a response log concentration, that is dose response curve. You can see here the B drug B has more potent than drug ACD, while drug ACD have more efficacious compared to the drug B, but drug A has more potent compared to drug C and D. So which is the more in the left side, that means near to the y axis, near to that response curve, that has more potency. So the here efficacy, maximal response a drug can produce. Potency is measure of dose required to produce a response. Here it's written A is more dash than B. A is more efficacious than B. Next one, A and B are more dash than C. A and B are more potent than C. I think you got this idea. If you have any doubt, please comment on the below to the video. So we are moving to next slide. The next question, when used for prolonged periods, which of the following drug causes organ toxicity due to accumulation? Due to drug accumulation, which of the following drug during prolonged period it causes toxicity, organ toxicity? The first one prednisolone, the second one chloroquine, the third one aspirin, and the last one hydrazine. Out of this, which one causes organ toxicity when we are using for prolonged periods due to accumulation? The correct answer is chloroquine. Chloroquine, anti-malarial drug, which causes organ toxicity when we are using for the prolonged period. The next question, the essential feature in drug addiction. In drug addiction, the essential feature, the feature of drug addiction, it should be there in the drug addiction. The first option, physical dependence. Second one, psychological dependence. The third one, both physical and psychological dependence. And the last one, psychiatric abnormality. Out of this, which is the essential feature of drug addiction? Physical dependence or psychological dependence, or both A and B? And the option D is psychiatric abnormality. The correct answer is psychological dependence. If there is a drug addiction, there is a psychological dependence. The next question. Question number 8. Which of the following adverse drug reactions is due to a specific genetic abnormality? Which of the following adverse drug reaction, that's ADR, is due to a specific genetic abnormality? Option A, Tetracycline induced sunburn like skin lesion. The second option, quinidine induced thrombocytopenia. Metoclopramide induced muscle dystonia. And the last option, primaquine induced massive hemolysis. Out of this, which is the ADR due to genetic abnormality? The correct answer is option D, primaquine induced massive hemolysis, because primaquine in special cases, in special people who is G6PD deficient, if you are giving primaquine to G6PD deficient person, there will be hemolytic anemia. So primaquine should not be administered to anyone with G6PD deficiency because of hemolytic anemia. This is a genetic disorder. The next point, primaquine is contraindicated in pregnancy also. Why? Because this G6PD deficiency, this G6PD may be deficient in the fetus. We don't know the condition of fetus at that time, so during pregnancy we cannot give primaquine. That is, primaquine is contraindicated in pregnancy. The next question, question number 9, an orphan drug is, what is an orphan drug? Number 1, option A very cheap drug. A very cheap drug is known as orphan drug. The second option, a drug which has no therapeutic use, which is known as the orphan drug. Option C, a drug needed for the treatment or prevention of a rare disease. Option D, a drug which acts on orphanin receptors. The correct answer is option C, a drug needed for the treatment or prevention of a rare disease. That is called orphan drug. Or an orphan drug is a drug that is needed for the treatment of an endemic disease. That is a disease which is there in all over one region. Most of the people has a disease, same disease. For that treatment also we can use orphan drug. An orphan drug is a drug needed for the treatment of prevention of a rare disease or more common endemic disease also. We will see some examples for this one. Sodium nitrite is the one which is using as an antidote for cyanide poisoning. Sodium nitrite, it's using for the cyanide poisoning treatment. The next one, fomepizole, liposomal amphotericin B, digoxin antibody, rifabutin, as well as somatropin. Sodium nitrite, fomepizole, liposomal amphotericin B, digoxin antibody, rifabutin, and somatropin are orphan drugs. They are the examples for orphan drugs. They are using for treatment of rare diseases. We are moving to next question, question number 10. If the clearance of a drug remain constant, the clearance of a drug is constant rate, at a constant rate. Doubling the dose rate will increase the steady state plasma drug concentration by a factor of. So for this, we should know the relation between steady state plasma drug concentration, clearance, and dose rate. We will go for the option first of all. The first option, 3. When we doubling the dose rate at the clearance in the remains constant, if the clearance is in remains constant, the steady state plasma drug concentration should increase by 3 factor. Option A is that one. The second option is 2. Option C 1.5, option D 1.3. The correct answer is 2. If we double the dose rate, the steady state plasma concentration also doubles if the clearance of a drug remain constant. So we are moving to see the details of these questions. Here we can see the relation in between steady state plasma concentration as well as dose rate and clearance. You can see here steady state plasma concentration is equal to dose rate divided by clearance. In the question it's mentioned clearance is remains constant. If the clearance remains constant and the dose rate become double, so automatically the CPSS should be double. So that was the question. When the dose rate become doubles, when the dose rate increases to twice, the CPSS also increases twice when clearance remains constant. Next question, question number 11. The following receptor type has 7 helical membranes spanning amino acid segments with 3 extracellular and 3 intracellular loops. This is the receptor type. Which receptor type has 7 helical membranes? Out of this, 3 in extracellular and 3 in intracellular. Option A, tyrosine protein kinase receptor. Option B, gene expression regulating receptor. Option C, intrinsic ion channel containing receptor. And option D, G protein coupled receptor. The correct answer is G protein coupled receptor. G protein coupled receptor has got 7 helical membrane. Out of this 3 are intracellular and 3 are extracellular. The next question, question number 12. The type 2, type 3 and type 4 hypersensitivity reactions can be suppressed by which drug? Option A, adrenaline. Option B, antihistaminic. Option C, corticosteroids. And the last option, sodium chromoglycolate. Okay. The question is type 2, type 3, type 4 hypersensitivity reaction can be suppressed by. The correct answer is corticosteroids. So we can suppress the type 2, type 3 and type 4 hypersensitivity reaction using corticosteroid. The next question, question number 13. Select the drug which has been found to be a strong human teratogen. Select the drug which is teratogenic from the option A, isoniatic acid, option B, isotretinoin, and option C, hydralazine, and the last option, propyl thiouracil. Out of this, which is the teratogenic drug? Which drug is teratogenic? We cannot use this teratogenic drug during pregnancy. The correct answer is isotretinoin. Option B is the correct answer. For studying this one, you can use one trick. Teratogenic drug, we can use teratogenic. That's the starting from that's terato and the first terato is, they are the teratogenic drugs. We will see one by one. W for warfarin, terato, T for thalidomide, then E for erythromycin, R for retinol, A for anticancer and antimalarial, T for tetracycline, O for OCP. Oral contraceptive pills, that's OCP. Here you can see in this question the answer is given to isotretinoin, and here it's not there in the list, but you can see here retinol and isotretinoin. Isotretinoin is a derivative of retinoic acid. Okay, isotretinoin is a derivative of retinoic acid, so that is also teratogenic. Here you can see W terato, W for warfarin, T for thalidomide, E for erythromycin, R for retinol, A for anticancer and antimalarial drug. Anticancer drugs will cause is a highly teratogenic drug. Anticancer drugs are highly teratogenic drug. Tetracycline and oral contraceptive pills. This is very important. We are moving to next question. Which of the following constitute drug abuse? Which of the following constitute drug abuse? For some question, I am not describing the answer, or for I am not giving details about the answer. Why? Because I am not getting that much time. So if I am going to explain for each question, that will be very long video. So if you have any doubt regarding any question, you can ask in the comment section. I will try to answer it as soon as possible. So we are moving to this question, question number 14. Which of the following constitutes drug abuse? The first option A, physician prescribed use of penicillin G for the cure of viral fever. Option B, self-administration of aspirin to relieve headache. Option C, repeated self-administration of morphine to derive euphoria. Option D, all of the above. Which of the following coming under drug abuse? Which of this option coming under drug abuse? Self-administration of aspirin to get relief from the headache, or physician prescribed use of penicillin G for the treatment of viral fever, or repeated self-administration of morphines repeated administration to get euphoria effect, or option D, all of the above. The correct answer is option C, repeated self-administration of morphine to derive euphoria is coming under drug abuse. It's a drug abuse. The next question number 15. The pharmacokinetic drugs in the neonate differs from that in adults because the pharmacokinetic properties of drugs in neonate and in adults are differs. Why? Because in intestinal transit is fast in neonate, or drug metabolism enzyme are more active in neonates. Tubular transport mechanisms are not well developed in neonates. The last option, glomerular filtration rate, is high. Which option is correct for this pharmacokinetic properties differ in neonates and adults? The correct answer is here option C, tubular transport mechanism are not well developed in neonates. That's why pharmacokinetic properties of a drug is differs in neonates from that in adults. Next question number 16. The antidotal action of sodium nitrite in cyanide poisoning is based on. The main mechanism is based on antidotal action of sodium nitrite in cyanide poisoning. We know that sodium nitrite is used in the cyanide poisoning. That's we already seen in previous question. The mechanism behind is physical antagonism. Option B, chemical antagonism. Option C, physiological antagonism. Option D, non-competitive antagonism. These are the different type of antagonism. Out of this, which antagonism is the main cause for the antidotal action of sodium nitrate in cyanide poisoning? The correct answer is option B, chemical antagonism. Chemical antagonism is the correct answer. We will see the mechanism of action of sodium nitrate in cyanide poisoning. In cyanide poisoning, sodium nitrate is given so that hemoglobin is combined with sodium nitrate and it will become methemoglobin. This methemoglobin has got high affinity towards cyanide and it is become cyanomethemoglobin. After that, sodium thiazide, since cyanomethemoglobin will dissociate afterwards to get free cyanide, and that is poisonous. So this cyanomethemoglobin is treated with sodium thiosulfate, so that sodium thiosulfate will react with cyanomethemoglobin and come sodium thiocyanate and methemoglobin. This sodium thiocyanate is freely it's excreted in urine. It's freely excreted in urine, sodium thiocyanate. Free cyanide is poisoning. If cyanide is not in the free form, that's no problem. That's why hemoglobin, when treated with sodium nitrate, it's become methemoglobin, and cyanide will combine with methemoglobin and it will become cyanomethemoglobin. This cyanomethemoglobin is dissociate afterwards in the blood and it's free cyanide, and it's give cyanide. This cyanide also become poisonous. Before that, we should give sodium thiosulfate, so that sodium thiosulfate will react with the cyanomethemoglobin, so that methemoglobin and sodium thiosulfate come. This sodium thiosulfate is freely excreted in urine. Next question, essential drug are. What is the essential drug? Option A, life-saving drug. Option B, drugs that meet the priority healthcare needs of the population. Option C, drug that must be present in the emergency bag of a doctor. Option D, drugs that are listed in the pharmacopoeia of a country. What are the essential drugs? Life-saving drug, or it's meet drugs that meet priority healthcare needs of the population? Option C, drug that must be in the emergency bag of a doctor. Or last option D, it's listed in the pharmacopoeia of a country. The correct answer is option B, drug that meet the priority healthcare needs of the population. That is essential drugs. Next question, question number 18. Active transport of a substance across biological membrane has the following characteristic. Active transport. It's the active transport of a substance across biological membrane has the following characteristic. Except it's a specific, it is pH dependent, it is saturable, and it requires metabolic energy. Since active transport, require metabolic energy. Active transport are two types: primary active transport and the secondary active transport. Primary active transport, they are getting the energy from the hydrolysis of ATP, and that other one, they are getting the downhill movement of the other ion. The secondary active transport. Active transport is two types also: symbiote and antiport. That's depend upon the direction. If the two ions movement are in the same way, it's called symbiote, and in the opposite way, this is called antiport. I just describe this active transport, that's all. So it requires metabolic energy, that's correct. And here the question is, what is the false? So it requires metabolic energy, it's correct. It is saturable, it's also correct. It is specific also. The correct answer here is, that means it's the except it is pH dependent. So the correct option is B. Active transport of a substance has the following characteristics: A, C, D. They have the following characteristics of A, C, and D, but they don't have this characteristic. It is not a pH dependent. Next question, 19. Bioavailability of drug. What is bioavailability of drug? The option A, percentage of administered dose that reaches systemic circulation in unchanged form. Option B, ratio of oral to parenteral dose. Option C, ratio of orally administered drug to that excreted in the feces. The last option, ratio of drug excreted unchanged in urine to that excreted as metabolites. What is bioavailability? The correct answer is option A, percentage of administered dose that reaches systemic circulation in unchanged form. This is just a definition of bioavailability. But 19, bioavailability is percentage of administered dose that reaches systemic circulation in unchanged form. The last question in this video, that is 20th question. If a drug is excreted in urine at the rate of 10 mg per hour at a steady state plasma concentration of 5 mg per liter, then its renal clearance is. This question is also based on the relation between clearance, plasma drug concentration, and dose. The options are 0.5 liter per hour, option B 2 liter per hour, option C 5 liter per hour, the last option 20 liter per hour. We can find this answer by just giving the value of rate and value of steady state plasma concentration in the equation. But we should know the equation. This already we saw the equation before. Previously, if the doubling of which one dose rate will doubles the CPSS if the CL remains constant. That is, CPSS steady state plasma concentration is equal to dose rate divided by clearance. That is the equation we have to use here. Here the correct answer will become option B, option B 2 liter per hour is the correct answer. We will see how it's coming. We know this equation, steady state plasma concentration CPSSS is equal to dose rate divided by clearance. Here in the question it's mentioned CPSS is equal to 5 and the dose rate is equal to 10. So clearance is equal to dose rate divided by CPSSS. Just substituting the value 10 by 5 is equal to 2. Answer become 2. So here in the option it's there 2 liter per hour. So that's all guys. If you like this video, please make a thumbs up and also don't forget to subscribe my channel so that you will get the notification regarding my new videos whenever I upload, and also press the bell button, then only you will get this notification.